what are some of the signs, the smaller signs that the Islamic teaching talked about, or either Hadith or the Quran?
Yes, 1400 years ago, when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the revelation, he was informed about some of the matters that will occur before Judgment Day. And these matters are divided into two categories: minor signs of the day for judgment and major signs of the day for judgment. The minor signs indicate that the hour is coming, the time is coming soon. But the major signs will tell us that it's coming sooner. So the minor signs will precede the major signs. And from the minor signs, the Prophet, peace be upon him, talked about many matters that will happen before the day of judgment. Amongst them, for instance, excessiveness in occurrences of earthquakes. And we started seeing this lately. Also about volcanoes. You know, like many idle volcanoes had erupted in the last year, and people did not expect, and they say this was for how many years, maybe hundreds of years. Now it erupted. So excessiveness in happening of earthquakes, volcanoes, and the like, they all show that the hour is coming. These changes are signs that the hour is coming. Also, the spread of diseases that people were unfamiliar with in the past. Now, take for example, before this pandemic disease, we talk about cancer. Cancer was not known in the past. In the past, if you read history, maybe you hear about leprosy, you hear about plague and other diseases from those ones in the past. Those people were familiar with them. But from the past century, we started seeing this cancer thing. Up to now, they haven't found a cure for it. They try with different ways, but they're not working. We know once a person is diagnosed with cancer, that's it, he's heading towards his deterioration. And his case deteriorates day after day until he dies. So that's something people did not know in the past. Also, this year, or the end of last year as well, to be more precise, we were shocked when we heard about this pandemic disease. It started somewhere in part of the world, started spreading quickly. Something that, honestly, I would think about it, people do not see. They don't know how they can contract that disease, how they get it. Suddenly it's spreading all over the world. All the technology, all the money, all the power that all these governments held as sovereignty, all these matters, now they became unable to do anything about it. Take, for example, America, that is a very powerful country. Look what's happening in New York and the like. So people, even in lockdown, they are experiencing problems. And I was reading one of the articles in news a few days ago that 66% of those that were admitted into hospital for COVID-19 were actually in isolation. So they were not mixing with people. So it's spreading quickly. People don't know what it is up to now, how they're going to cure people from it. So it's something scary. That will tell them, look, even if you have power, even if you have technology, even if you have all that, yeah, but you are still weak creation. And then that will make people resort to their creator and to think about what we have done, what wrong we have done in this life. So let them rethink, recalculate what they have done in this life, and see how they can reform, make a kind of reformation for what they have done in this life. So maybe they live life in the right way, because obviously.
You think this is an assessment that someone has to do with their life? Or is it a warning? What is it exactly? And why?
Definitely it's a warning. Definitely it's a warning for every one of us, for all governments, for all countries, for all people, because there is no differentiation with this COVID-19. It's attacking anyone at any place, in any country. So one will find himself very weak in front of this unseen virus. He cannot see it, he cannot detect it, but suddenly he might be diagnosed with this disease. So it's something one needs to consider and think about. So what have I done? So this world, it doesn't matter if I have wealth, if I have power, I might be powerless in front of this unseen disease. So I need to think about, okay, living my life in the right way, because I know, like, you cannot change the fact that we are going to depart this life. So no one can change it, no matter what we do. Even if you were to build a castle and stay in it, put soldiers, guards, whatever, when it's our time to depart, we will depart this world. No one is living on earth forever. So that will make us rethink about our life, try to evaluate or make what you call it self-assessment to ourselves. Okay, what wrong I have done, and what should I do for the future? And I think everyone in this life, to a certain extent, would do this kind of self-assessment in different aspects of this life. So if, for instance, you are one day shocked with some bills that you are unable to pay, you start thinking, so what did I do? Where did I spend that is not necessary? So I need to rethink about all these matters to make sure that my wages are sufficient for my expenses. So I know you deal with business and all these matters, you are expert more than me, but when you talk about these matters, you start thinking, okay, so I need to make a plan where I'm winning in the end, not losing. So even that's in something simple in this life. So what about the way you are living your life? You think about the way you are living your life. You eat, you drink, just you follow your desires, your inclinations. That's it. Is that what you are supposed to do in this life? Now, if you compare your life with that of animals, as I mentioned, if you look at the animals, they eat, drink, mate, reproduce, and the like. So here you would say, yeah, definitely my life is not like them. I'm better than them. So I have a mind. So that means I'm here for a greater purpose. And here you start thinking and evaluating your actions, your deeds, and you see what you have done wrong in this life, and you try to rectify it before you depart this world. So it's like alarming for people, alerting them, okay, your end is coming soon. What have you done in this life? Because, you know, in Arabic, a human being is called insan. Insan is a human being. Insan in Arabic, he's called insan, the human being, because he forgets. He forgets. That's why God sent prophets for every era, for every people, to remind them, because one is not sufficient. So because after he reminds them and he puts them on the right track, and this prophet dies, then you see after a while people goes back to doing wrong things. They start robbing, killing, doing all these bad things. So they need someone to remind them again. So another prophet will come. So all the prophets came in that sequence, one after another. Whenever people are in need of someone to advise them, to guide them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a mercy, God sent these prophets to guide people whenever they are off the track.